Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Tyrone back with Tech Life, and the new plans have officially launched starting today. T-Mobile has an official press release. T-Mobile launches new essentials plans for first responders and military. The military one that wasn't disclosed at the event yesterday, so that's something new for military members. T-Mobile announced two exciting ways it is reinforcing its commitment to first responders and military customers by introducing two new essentials plans built just for them. With essential first responders and essential military, the Un-carrier is giving those who serve essential connectivity and the best price for their families compared to Blue and Red, all on America's largest and fastest 5G network. The new essentials plans are available starting today. So they're touting the 20% off again, or 20% cheaper versus the competition. Again, that's a big deal for many. That's over $250 in annual savings. So they're touting that again. They're touting the $750, right? That kind of makes up for that 20%, especially in extreme congestion. Now, I want to be clear about that. I've had people in the comments asking. So for the first responders, I would say the slicing, right? The 5G slice is important. So if I was a first responder, I'd pay the $7.50. But for the most part, T-Mobile's network today doesn't have much congestion, right? If they're touting the 40% more capacity and all the speed lead that we've seen on Ookla, RootMetrics, and OpenSignal, they shouldn't have any congestion or major congestion issues to begin with, right? But in an event of a emergency, like a big emergency where there could be like extreme congestion, that slice will give you a guaranteed speed. So in an event of an emergency, you're at least going to get that. So that's why this additional add-on is quite important in my view. And I've had someone ask me that's on the Magenta Max first responder. It should be available for you guys. I would get it. I wouldn't switch to the new plans per se unless you can find additional savings on the essentials. And then you add the slicing, and then maybe you can save some money there. But I would definitely add the additional 5G slice, especially for extreme congestion purposes. Military, I don't think military will get access to the 5G slice, but like I said, the capacity should be plenty for everybody, so there shouldn't be much issue there from a congestion perspective. So here are the charts. So you got the essentials, first responder, military, you got Go 5G first responder / military, you got Go 5G plus, and then you got the Go 5G next first responder / military. And then you guys can compare, right? You get streaming, international, hotspot, you get all that. So you guys can definitely compare. Now the essentials, I want to point that out, that is the entry level plan. So you're not going to get the hotspot like you do on the other plans. Or I should say great performing hotspot. The hotspot is very limited to 600 kilobytes. So I would definitely at least go with the Go 5G to get some type of hotspot if you need the hotspot. But you can compare here. Not much different from the consumer side, the plans, except the network slice. You don't get that on the consumer side yet. It's a monetization tool, so eventually I think T-Mobile is going to do some type of AT&T Turbo situation, and they're going to tell a story. They're going to market it better than AT&T, in my opinion. So that's the only difference between it and consumer is the network slicing. Everything else looks about the same. T-Mobile Tuesday streaming, and then of course you do get a 40% discount of being on the first responder and the military. So, and then there's switcher promos. Like I said, check out the article in the description. You got $800 virtual prepay MasterCard. Right now, it's a good time to switch to T-Mobile, right? I've spoken with analysts yesterday, several people, and they said at this point, T-Mobile is just buying share. That's all they're doing, right? So you have you have the acquisition cost. That's already baked in most businesses, right? But T-Mobile is literally undercutting, right, the other carriers in pricing. So that they consider that buying share at that point, right? If you're going to bring 10 million to the city of New York as an example in cost savings, you undercut the next closest competitor, whoever that may have been, Verizon or AT&T, right? And they're not going to match or undercut. So it's quite an easy win for T-Mobile. You got to look at T-Mobile's balance sheet. They have about, I would say, 50% less debt than AT&T and Verizon. So they have that wiggle room to go lower because they don't have such a huge need to pay down large amounts of debt that Verizon and AT&T are dealing with today, like 130, 140 billion in debt. T-Mobile's like at 80, 85 billion. So it's a lot lower, right? So that's what T-Mobile said. They can defend their position if they need to because of the balance sheet. They have a much, much, much better balance sheet today. Now, if they go after cable, that's going to change. T-Mobile's balance sheet is going to be a mess if they go after cable. But for now, they still have competitive advantages on the balance sheet, and it's translating into cost savings for agencies and cities for first responders. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. Like, share, subscribe. See y'all in the next one. Peace.